I'm going to explain what the significators that I have chosen mean. Yes, these significators are the same for each and every sign, and there is a reason for that, and I'm going to explain it in the next couple of minutes. So unless you know why I am using Temperance reversed, and you can think of it now, then please listen. And so otherwise, after that, we will jump right into the reading and see where this month takes us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, super duper quick explanation. If you go on my website, you can check much deeper explanation. Just don't want to hear the questions. Oh, you're using the same cards all over and over again. This is for those who should be listening to this and you're not. So I'm not going to answer that. So we have 7 topics. I want to find out under each of this chapter what comes out in this time frame. When I'm doing my personal readings, I'm doing it a little bit differently because then I have the personal energy. Here is sort of like mishmash of all of you coming here and picking up on your energy, so it's kind of like a little bit different. By the way, this reading isn't special. Actually, you have a double special here. One is still $50 versus 60. I'm keeping that, so I know this is kind of a pressing thing, but the second one is like speed up promo, which means that you're actually getting 1 level up. So from the regular reading, which usually takes me 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to get it within a week. If you book a rush reading, which used to take a week, you're going to get it within 3 days. And if you buy urgent reading, which used to take 3 days, you're going to get it within 24 hours. And if you're North America, maybe even the same day. So just like visit cattarot.ca and check up specials, and everything will be explained there. Let's get into this explanation. The first category, magician. Magician is magic. He can do anything. So here I want to really see what in this relationship can be created. Is this relationship actually even doable? And you know, sometimes people complain, oh my gosh, I can do a whole bunch of things, and I don't know why I cannot make this relationship working, right? But the truth is, sometimes there are like external issues that actually can affect us, and because of those issues, we cannot make it work. So here in this kind of like a column, you're going to find this out. The Temperance is reversed here for a reason, because in the upright situation, Temperance says right time, right place, right person, right situation. But here it's saying that one of these elements is missing. So we have to figure out what needs to be glued before this can move forward. Then Queen of Wands is the dating queen. The Knight of Wands is the dating king. So one of that is you. One of that is the partner that you want to know. 8 of Wands is going to tell me about the energy in between the two of you. What's happening? Is there going to be communication? Well, the Judgment is what these guys above think about this relationship. What have you done with everything that has been given to you? What if you were given all this love and were told, like, you know what, you have to learn how to communicate? Let's see what they mean. And also let's see how is this relationship progressing. So how is that? Was it super fast? So let's jump in. February and March. However, guys, this is going to apply at any time that you're listening. This is how this works. You're attracted to energy. And did you ever try to dust? Stuff comes to that feather kind of like thing. So it's going to work no matter what time you are here. So let's start. Alright, Saggies, let's see what we have for this month. Whoa. Right out of the gate, the Tower reversed. And then another 7. This is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. 7 of Cups. Ooh, the Judgment. This is Scorpio and Aries. This is a Scorpio as well, but the energies are like sort of like there is something that is off over here. Good gosh, what is this all about, Saggies? This is kind of like really, really hard to decode, I have to tell you. The Tower reversed is, Tower is never a good thing to happen. So I think in this period, maybe because it is a Valentine's Day, or whatever period you're coming through, for some reason it seems to be extremely difficult. Something has been built on a completely wrong grounds, and worse yet, somebody's completely not aware what was their participation in it. Since this came in the magician category, it might be you guys, that something really has to be redefined, and it cannot be redefined without really looking deep inside, because some of you are simply on the wrong path. It is as clear as a day that, you know, maybe you feel that you have no options. Maybe you feel you have to do what you have to do. The truth is, like I see here, Four of Swords, which talks about somebody avoiding responsibility, somebody avoiding problems. It's sort of like, yeah, you know, you get a bill, you tuck it away, it's going to kind of like happen, and next thing you know, your bank account is frozen, etc. So sure, it's not maybe the nicest thing, but this has to be dealt with. The issue here is like, there is like this overwhelming feeling, not knowing how to deal with this. And I think some of you are really truly just putting the nose to the grindstone. You're just going with, okay, I will just focus on my work. It's again avoidance pattern. This is working. This is, nobody's upsetting me here. It is turning inside ultimately, which is really good to kind of like really find certain issues, because these two cards are kind of like similar vibrations. This one is much higher, but it's kind of like reassessing things that have been done. In the end, it's going to get to the point of saying, okay, you know what, I really need to face it. I need to face it no matter what. It's going to be turbulent. I am not going to lie to you. Turbulent more so. It's when you tell a person there's like this huge hole on the highway, what do? You don't try to run right through it, right? You try to kind of like plan to go around this. When you tell a person there's this huge hole, oh, never mind, I can just do it. You run into the hole. No amount of hoping and trusting that you're so wonderful is not going to help. And that's somehow the Tower reversed has this kind of like personality, which is simply, and I have it twice, not willing to look at what happened. It could be like, you know, that either you or your partner has been so severely hurt that you are not able to see that. Which kind of does happen. When we are hurt, we only see our side of a story. That kind of like what makes sense. So let's see what, there is you coming out. So stabilization, this is kind of like really interesting. Going deep inside, the High Priestess is really good. It's kind of like learning things on your own skin, but then again, trying to wiggle out of it by, you know, presenting the situation in a kind of like calculative, manipulative way. And it was Matrix saying hi. And there is a couple that is not a couple right now. It could be a couple with a child. It could be the child is the one. Oh my gosh, one partner here is just trying to present itself as such a nice and fluffy and adorable and caring, and present the other person as horrifying, where that partner who is presenting themselves as super nice is the one who actually did all kinds of shenanigans and caused a whole bunch of things to kind of like go aside. This is kind of very similar to Scorpio to some extent, because not only there is a repetition of the cards that have been there, I think these, and King of Cups and Queen of Cups, but also the overall flavor, where there are like two people where one person is completely clueless, and the clueless person thinks that they have all the trumps in their hands, and there's a toilet paper and not trumps. So how do you go from there? It almost looks like that the child will play a very, very important role. If this Page of Swords doesn't represent child, then somebody really wants to kind of like find the truth in the situation, and that person is going to be made into a really, really bad guy. If the truth is not found, the hurt is going to continue. It could have been some kind of cheating. I can see it now. One partner has been outside of the relationship. I don't know, some of you might be married, some of you might be going through a legal process as well. Yeah. Like really, you and your partner are with the odds with each other. So why is the Ace of Cups showing up here? I guess you're trying to kind of keep modicum of decency in all of that, but one partner here is trying to do everything possible, I think, not to dissolve this relationship. It is clear that this relationship is not good. It is like clear. But it's like when a train runs, and even when you step on a brake, the train still runs. One partner is still running, while other partner is saying, I told you so, I don't want to. And maybe this is like talking about sort of like naivete, because Queen of Cups to me, it's always a very naive proposition. Queen of Cups is somebody who, in fact, is going to be opposite of King of Cups, who will, oh, kind of honey, have a sandwich, thinking that's going to remedy the situation, where the situation is like you kind of like really don't have anything that kind of glues together. So sort of like solutions brought forward are not solutions that can happen. And sure, it would be nice to keep it on kind of like a friendly base. And there is like this feeling, one partner feels that everybody's against him or her. You see, this is like two of them are passing the church, almost like feeling shunned. So what would take for two people not to go in this situation to church to get food, to get shelter? Why are they passing? Why even church doesn't want to accept them? It probably was something that hasn't been done in accordance with society, in accordance with religion, whatever kind of you guys subscribe, right? But this came reversed. In the reverse situation, this kind of represents the doorway. So now, why are these two people not seeing this doorway? There is a way out. So when somebody cheats, when somebody introduces element of wrench in the engine, at that point, you have to realize that the huge damage has been done. It is kind of really weird. Sometimes also people cheat out of desperation. And I have to tell you, I counsel couples that, and this is why I really don't like therapy, and this is not why I went into classical way, because they tell you that majority of your money will come through counseling couples. And they even tell you how to do it. The survival rate of a couple is minuscule. But they will go through years and years and years and trying to kind of like find these initial issues. The truth is, the partner that has been cheated is never going to forget it. And also another truth is that even the partner who cheated feels cheated as well. And they feel they have been pushed into that. So it is a very difficult situation, and I can totally see that some of you are going through something tremendously hard. And on one hand, you're seeing all the things happening and hurtful, and somebody trying to manipulate and trying to go head on to the situation. And then on the other hand, trying to do nothing, and nothing works. It just like feels all of them are dead ends. And then you're getting the World card reverse. This is still going to go on for a while. You will have the brief refuge from all these issues, and it's going to be some nice and productive communication. Lots of people, queen, king, queen. You might have, you see, I think some of you will be going from, okay, I need to reseduce you, and this is like, especially women going to that, oh well, you know, I have, especially if if the partner has a lover, well, I have to be better looking, or maybe I'm not seductive enough. That's completely wrong. They don't cheat because they don't find a wife attractive. They usually cheat because some other issues, whatever they are, true or perceived. This could be simply perceived because of the Tower over here reversed, and this is kind of good. Somebody's screwing their head back to where it's supposed to be. Like, I'm a mother, I am valuable, I am resourceful, these are my strengths, right? So crying is not going to work at all. Like, this person is simply done. Yeah, the Hierophant reversed. Either doesn't want to stay, or doesn't want to commit, or it's getting out of the relationship. Yeah, absolutely, commitment is not there with one partner. One partner wants to build it and saying, well, almost like, let's stay for the kids. So you see here, I do see this couple maybe reconnecting on a completely different level. It might be even a lovey-dovey episode over here, I'm not going to lie to you, but ultimately it's not going to work out. This is not a relationship where you have a give and take. And the only time that these two people can get together is like on that sandwich, where you have this like brief kind of like respite from the problems, and then you sit at a table, you have this dinner, lunch. This really specifically applied to people who are married, who are going through marital difficulties. The issues are still not done. Issues without talking about issues, they cannot be resolved, because this inequality and feeling of this is not right will continue. And it looks like maybe one partner does want to talk about it, but the other doesn't want to hear about it, because one, there are no problems, they're not a problem, and two, they actually are really not in it anymore. So I'm really sorry to say the Scorpio, pardon me, Sagittarius, like, there are so many overlaps, and I don't know why this is. Are you kind of like a lots of Sagittarius here that are close to Scorpio? I would love to hear from you. What is this all about? But like, I have to say that even you, Scorpio, there was a decision that you made going in a direction that was not the best for you, and it's costing you. So you have to ask yourself, what is it, and how much more do you really want to push this as well? So this card flicked. Whoa. Is this maybe somebody new love, a new person stirred your romantic feelings? I kind of don't see it. Really, this is not what came to me, but it could mean that. Let's see one more. Let your friends help you. See, when I saw this card, the thought that came to me was somebody really needs to love themselves. Somebody is putting the other person ahead of themselves, and the other person is simply like walking all over them, completely clueless of the damage and hurt. It's like proverbial bull in a china shop, right? And let your friends help you. Absolutely. I really think some of you really need therapy, because this situation here is beyond repair. It's beyond repair, and I think the best you can hope is to establish communication, especially if you have kids, and not to poison them with anything that happened between mom and dad, and kind of like continue that, because Queen of Pentacles is I want to be a really good, and I want to be a really reliable wife. This also could be some of Sagittarians that are really close to Capricorn on that end as well, and those guys very much are going to be able to go in that direction. So I see kind of like this Queen of Cups and King of Cups. I also see Queen of Wands and King of Wands, and always one is reversed. And at the very end, we also see Knight of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. So I see Knight of Swords, but not Queen of Swords. So in the very end, I think you guys are deciding that you really have to ground yourself, and that you have to figure out really how to create balance, because I think it's like painfully obvious that there is no balance and there is no give and take in this relationship. And let your friends help you. So maybe just talking to your friends. Also, I will guys advise you to check my other channel, which comes at the end of this, where I only have one video right now. And I also ask you all to give me ideas about how to name the channel. That would help. and let's go from there. Some of you will have to go to marriage counseling, but again, as long as one person believes it's all here, it's all me, and they actually create this pain, mind you, they feel like a victim as well, it's hard to repair that. It's really, really hard to repair that. So you can as well really rebuild yourself and establish your boundaries back and create your own world. You deserve better. Love you, Saggies. Love you, Saggies. We'd love to hear your comments. Talk to you soon.